Sorry,
You just said that curfew was a loaded phrase. You use those.
Well, it is. It is,
So,
I think.
given that and mental health and all the reasons that just have been spelt out, you can't leave your house anyway because of all those 4 reasons.
But some people had been, Rich.
Yeah. Why not remove it then? When people talked about needing hope this week, why not remove this loaded term?
Well, again, I've tried to be frank and acknowledge the fact that it perhaps has a meaning that goes beyond the practical effect that it has, but we're not removing it because it works. And if we remove it and make the job of police even harder, because it's not easy to make sure that people are doing the right thing, then that will just mean we potentially have more cases, and opening up safely and steadily is further away than it should be. This is the right decision. It is limiting movement. It is making the very challenging work of Victoria Police just that little bit easier. And on that basis, limit movement, limit the virus. It's no more or less complex than that. And when we get down to numbers that are low enough for us to begin taking those really significant steps towards opening up, a curfew will not be needed.
Premier, you just said before that the government can make administrative decisions without the advice of the Chief Health Officer. How many other captain's calls have you made?
I wouldn't describe it in those terms. If you want to describe it that way, then that's entirely a matter for you.
It has been described as that. You said it was ultimately your decision yesterday. How many other calls have you made without the advice of the Chief Health Officer?
No. But see, this is not the thing. This is not the issue. The government reserves the right to make decisions to operationalise advice from the Chief Health Officer. The notion that the government can't do anything whatsoever unless the Chief Health Officer provides it in detailed advice, that doesn't make any sense. And that doesn't operate, that's not the principle that operates here or New South Wales or any other Australian state or at a national level. If you want to put it to the Prime Minister, has he ever acted beyond, in any sense, the advice that Brendan Murphy or Paul Kelly has given him? I think the answer will be he has. You always have to reserve the right to operationalise and deliver the advice of the medical experts and the principles that they want achieved. So, for instance, limit movement. OK, how might we do that? What are the different ways in which we can do that? And a curfew, as challenging and as difficult as it is to make a decision to impose something that has not been imposed before, there is simply no denying that it has played a part in limiting movement, and that limits the number of cases, and that gets us open sooner, and it allows us to stay open because we drive those numbers down so low. How you want to describe that is entirely a matter for you.
Respectfully though, Premier, can you see how members of the public though would see this, that, hey, Brett Sutton has said this, but you're now saying this, how can we trust you and follow the rules?
Well, I wouldn't see it in those terms. What I'd say is that we've got a clear strategy, numbers are falling, the strategy's working, limiting movement is a critically important part of that, and our approach to that will not be changing.